Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video, as you guys have seen in the title, we will be creating the UI for the Zoom automation application, which I'm gonna call ZoomBot because it is a bot that automates your Zoom. So ZoomBot. So yeah. Now, to create the UI, we could create something like this, which is very potato looking and looks like it was created on some Windows 95 or Windows XP. But instead, we are going to create something futuristic, something sleek, something minimalistic, something like this. Yep, exactly like this. This is the UI that we are going to be using for our project, for our application. So in this video, we will be creating the UI and giving it basic functions. And in the next video, what we are going to be doing, it'll be told in the end of this video. I don't want to explain it again. So let's begin. Okay, so to build the UI, first we need a UI designer. In this case, we need a Qt designer. So you guys can go down in the link below and download it by just clicking the link. Here I will be clicking, I already have the link open, and we click on download for Windows. So that was a pretty quick download. How did that happen? Anyways, moving on. So let's start up the designer and installation. Yes, next, blah blah blah. Okay, so installation is complete. Nice, everything's going quick. Sweet. Okay, make sure to run Qt Designer so that it's fast. And hit finish. And there you go, we have the Qt Designer. Now, to create an application, first need a background, a main window. So it's already selected here. All we have to do is click on create, and you have an empty window. Well, not completely empty. As you guys can see, there's one title bar kind of thing here and one small bar which is kind of invisible right here, but you can see those both stuff over here. So all you have to do is right click on Q menu bar, remove it, and Q status bar and remove it. Don't remove Q central widget, that's kind of the main part of this whole window. So now we have an empty area to play with. So to make the UI, we just extend it to this window to a certain size so that we have enough area to create the application or the UI. So to create the background, we need one of these widgets, these frame widgets in the container section. So we take one of these and extend it. Where's the, yeah, extend it to a certain size. Again, size doesn't matter right now because we will be resizing everything later. Okay, so we extend it to a certain and reasonable size, and we have to change the background color for this one. So let's do change style sheet and hit the drop down list and background color. So I'm going for a grayish theme for the application. So the background should be a bit gray, somewhere over here. Now, if you guys want to go with any other color schemes, you are most welcome to, because color schemes doesn't matter in this application. This is just my selection. Okay, so if we hit OK and apply, yep, that is a decent background. Now we need to make the corners rounded. For that, we have to do border hyphenate radius, and we have to give the value 15 pixels or px. What this basically does is makes your edges round. As you guys can see, it has rounded edges. It gives a more aesthetic look rather than a square edge. Okay, so now we have the main background. We need the title bar for the window. So for that, we will again use the frame widget, place it in one corner and extend it towards the other corner. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, extend it towards the other side. And I would say we keep the frame size to a 30 or 31. So if you guys can see the height right here for this frame, it is 31. If you guys want to make it an even 30, you are most welcome to. So 30 is the preferable size. Otherwise, it looks way too thick. Yeah, thick. Moving on. So we need to change the background color for this one. For this, I am thinking of a little more lighter gray color so that we can distinguish between the border, I mean, between the title bar and the main window. So somewhat of a color like this. This looks grayish enough. Oh, that's way too light. Wait, is it? Eh, that's decent enough. Let's hit OK and apply. So now we have a distinguishable title bar from the window, and it is also rounded, as you guys can see. Next we need the close and minimize buttons and the name of the application on this side. So let's just first make the buttons. For that, what we need is a Q push button, and we make it the most shortest as I mean smallest as possible, in which this case is a 16 by 16. Also clear the text inside, make it empty. So the size is 16 into 16, which is the most smallest you can make. And now you take this to this corner, and then you change the style sheet. So let's first make the close button. So change background color and give it a, let's see, do we need a bright red or a lighter red color? That's pink. Yeah, let's just try to drop this somewhere. That's orange. That's kind of pink. Yeah, this might do it. Yeah, this is decent enough. Okay, we hit OK and apply, and then we do a border hyphenate radius of, let's see, 8 pixels. Let's give 8 pixels. Don't give any more than that. 8 pixels is the maximum, if I remember correctly. We hit apply and we hit OK, and if we click out, we have a very small circle which can be our close button. Now this is kind of misaligned, if you can see. It's kind of close to the bottom and now kind of close to the edge. Let's just keep it here. And we need to centralize this with the title bar. So if we move it a bit up, it goes way up, and if you move it down, it goes way down. So the difference, if you can notice the y value here, the changes between y value is 0 and 0 and 10. It changes between 0 and 10. So obviously to make it centralized, we go for 5 usually. But if we put 5 too, you can still see it's going a bit to the top again. So to fix that from happening, we make it a 7, because that makes it centralized. Okay, so there's one more teeny tiny detail we have to fix. Now, what we have to do is type exactly as I do. Now we have this whole thing right here. Just enter it down. Just leave a space on the top and type this: Q push button, and then leave a space again and open a baby bracket or a parenthesis, if you will, and then leave a bit of space between these two lines because to make it look neat, and then close these parentheses. Now again, copy this thing, paste it beneath, and next to this Q push button, place a colon, as you guys can see, and type in hover. And after this, clear this color right here and go to border color, I mean background color, and go to your old color that you chose. In my case, I chose this color before, somewhat over here. And then you see the slider here. You have to make a little more darker version of this color. So somewhat like this. no, somewhere, yeah, this color, a bit more darker version of a previous color. So if you hit OK and clear the space here, hit apply, hit OK. So what happens now is when you hover over the button, you see the color of the button changing. So this makes it feel like the button is responsive. So if you click the button will work. It is kind of a satisfactory feeling. If the button is just the same color and you click it and it does not give any sort of actions, you feel like the button is not responsive. Suppose you see when we hover over these buttons, the colors change. The minimize button, maximize button, and the close button. Same way over here. Next, we need to create a minimize button. So we do the same thing by copying this and pasting this over here. Now again, to centralize it, we put the Y value to a 7. And then we need to change its color to yellow or any other color you want. So change style sheet and remove this color. And just in case, if you want to copy it, you do just like a normal Control C and Control V. It just gets copied, just like any other text. Okay, and yeah, let's change the background color to a yellow. So I don't want an exact yellow color. I want something like a dense yellow, like a chrome yellow color, somewhat like this. Yeah, this looks decent enough. Now let's make a darker version of this in the second Q push button segment by adding background color, going to the same color that I created before, a bit more dense and chrome yellow, and then making it a bit more darker, somewhere over here. Hit OK, and hit up. Oh wait, let's just clear this space. Okay, hit apply and hit OK. Now, if you guys can see, if I hover over this, color changes, makes it feel like it's responsive, and yes, it works. Nice. Next, we need to create a space for writing the name of the application. So I'm planning on calling this application ZoomBot because it is a bot that automates your Zoom classes. Okay, so we take a label widget, place it over here, and you want to make this label widget the exact same height as your title bar. So here the title bar's height is 30 or 31. It's not much of a difference. And the label's height is also 31, which if you want, you can make it 30. Still doesn't make any difference. And then let's change its font. Let's just extend it a bit and change its font. So for that, we go to we scroll down and we see font here. Click on this one and you will see this three dots. Click on that, extend this a bit. So the font I want is Sego UI Semibold. This is the kind of font used in almost all Windows applications and it looks decent. So I want Sego UI Semibold and the size of 10. If I hit OK, let's it didn't work. Wait, let's do that again. What happened? Why is it not working? Did I not hit OK or apply? Let's do again. Sego UI semi-bold and size of 10. Hit OK. Yep, now it worked. Let's change the text to Zoom bot. Hit enter and there you go. That looks decent enough. Like it's the perfect ratio to the title bar. And if you notice the space I left here, I'm thinking of creating an icon to place there because it looks decent like normal applications. Like here you can see the Qt designer icon. So when I create an icon in the future, I will place one here. Okay, nice. Next, so the title bar is complete. Next, we have to put in the main widgets, which include the table you guys saw in the beginning. For that, we need to find the table widget, which is right here. Take that, place it over here, and extend it to a certain size. Okay, now leave some space at the bottom because we need to place two more buttons here. If you guys have seen in the beginning of the video. And now let's change its style sheet again. We have to make it a little more recognizable from the background. So for that, we change the background color to a little more. So what I'm going for is here a little more darker than the title bar, but a little more lighter than the background. So somewhere in the middle. So I'm thinking this one, apply. Do they look kind of the same? Wait, let's look what's the style sheet for the title bar. Style sheet for the title bar. Yeah, they're kind of the same values. So let's change this. Let's delete this and make it. Let's give it CC. Oh wait, can't I edit this? Okay, CCCCC. Do we need one more C? Okay, one more C. Hit OK. Hit apply. Yeah, that is the color I'm going for. Nice. Okay, now again, if you want to change the color scheme, you're most welcome to. So, okay. Um, yeah. So, what else? We had to add columns to this. So for that, we need to double click on this one. Just double click on the whole widget, and you can get this window. So hit plus, and let's create the first column, which is name, and we hit OK. And oh wait, we need to create the other columns too. Okay, we have to hit ID because we need the ID column to type in the ID, and then we need the password column. So password, and what else we need? We need the date and time column. So to schedule the meeting, date and time, and we need the audio and video column, because in Zoom, if you try to log in, you get the two check boxes to turn off video and don't connect to audio. So we'll give in no audio, and oh wait, let's no, we need it to be on the bottom. Wait, it's all a mess. Wait, click over here and hit that. Okay, now it worked. So no video, and then we need one more column, which is delete. Why are we creating this? I will show you in either this video or the upcoming videos. I'll show you later. It's kind of complex to explain. Okay, so we have delete, and if you hit OK, we have the whole table right here. Now, next thing we need to do is get rid of this bar over here. It looks ugly. So to fix that, we usually extend this till here. But then the issue is, you see this little gap over here. The bar disappears, but still there's a gap over here. So if you try to move it a bit to this side to make the gap disappear, the bar comes back. So what you do is the same thing we did over here to centralize this. If you can look here, the width of the table, the width is 881 now. Now if I shrink it, it's 871. That means there's a difference of 10. So what I'm going to do is make this 875 and hit enter, and there you go. The bar disappears and this column is fully visible. Now let's centralize this a bit. Now that is decently centralized. Okay, next let's just pull this down a bit. Okay, now we need to create two more buttons here, and then we are done with the UI. So the buttons are save and add new meeting. Save button is to save the whole table, and add new meeting is to add a new meeting row. So if you hit add meeting, a new row comes over here. That all we will be doing in the next video, which will be coming up either next week or this week, because it's a vacation for me. So let's go on and go hit the push button. So we bring the push button here again, and then we right click on this and change style sheet. Now for this, we add background color. I'm thinking of a light green. So this color, yeah, this one looks nice. Okay, Now we do the same thing we did for these buttons to make it look responsive. So first let's just put the border radius. So border radius, we put the column and we need the value, let's give 10 pixels. 10 pixels will work. And if we hit apply and look at here, we have a rounded button. What happens if we put 15 pixels? Let's just check. Nope, when you put 15 pixels, it goes back to a square. It doesn't work. What about 12 pixels? Yeah, 12 pixels actually looks better than 10 pixels. So let's go with 12 pixels. Looks a little more rounded. Okay, so next we have to make it responsive. For that, we again do Q push button, hit enter, open a bracket, space this a little bit by hitting tab. Makes it look neat. Close this, and we take copy of this, Control C, Control V, and we type in hover. And then we have to change this color to make it a bit more darker version of this. So we go to background color, click on that color, pull down the slider to make it a little bit darker. That is dark enough. Hit OK. We clear this place and we hit apply. Now, just to explain what's going on here for those who didn't understand, these two are handles or functions for Q push button. Only difference is this is the Q push button. This one is the normal Q push button you see, and this one is the function for a Q push button when the mouse hovers over the button. So there are different parameters for this. They are clicked. Maybe I don't know the complete parameter list. The only one I currently know is hover. So you may be able to change this action. I'll look into it later. So yeah, let's hit OK. And now if we hover over the button, we have a responsiveness. Now let's change the text to save. Oh wait, that's not save. Save. Okay, let's shrink it a bit because we don't need such a huge button. And then let's copy it using Control C and paste it using Control V. Make it the equals centralization. Extend this a tiny bit and then change its text to add new meeting. Okay, perfect. Now shrink it a bit. Perfect. So now you have your two buttons and your close, minimize, your app name, your whole table, your full UI is complete. Now we have to go into the programming part. Now before that, there is one crucial step that we most probably you guys haven't been noticing. I didn't name any of these widgets. That's because I was keeping it for the last. Now, I don't care if you change the colors or change the text, but the names that you give for these widgets here should be the same as what I give, otherwise the program will not work. Because these names are the things that link this UI to the Python program. I hope most of you guys know that. So let's go rename everything. So you can rename it by clicking here and changing the object name here, or if you want to make life difficult, you can right click on this, click on change object name, change the object name and hit OK. I am not going to do that. So first we have this widget, which is the total background of the application. Now we'll change that into main win. So main win. Even the capital letters and small letters should be same, if because Python is case sensitive, if you guys must know. So we are giving it main win instead of main window because main window is already taken here. So main win is a bit more shorter and easier to write. Now we have this one, which is the title bar. As you guys can see here when I click this. Let's rename it title bar, and then we have the app name, which is right here, this window, this label. We'll call it app name since it contains the app name. Yes. Okay, now this is the minimize button, so I'll write in min button, and this is the close button. So should we name it exit button or close button? Let's name it close button. Why is this one called close? Yeah, so when you hover over it, it shows close. Okay, close button. And so we have successfully renamed everything under the title bar. So all these three are renamed. Now we need to rename these three widgets. So which one? This is the save button. So, oh wait, save button. This is the add new meeting button. So we'll just write add button. I'm not gonna write add new meeting button. It's just pathetic. Next we have the table widget. Now, the table widget does not need any specific name because this is a table widget, this is a table. So let's just name it table widget. And there you go, you have your UI. We have 8 elements in this UI for the basic UI. We will be updating this in the next video when we program it. We will program half the UI today. So let's save this. I am going to be saving all my files in this specific folder, Zoom bot folder. I have the automation script from my first video also in this folder. You should also save all your files that you are learning from this series in one folder so it's easy to access. So let's give the name Zoom bot UI. What happened? Let's make UI capital. And we hit save. And there you go, you have your UI. Okay, so now one thing you guys need to know is we are going to be creating an application or a .exe or an executable file for Windows. For Windows. So to do that, you can only convert Python files into .exe or executable files. So this UI file or .ui file will not be able to be converted into an executable file using Python. I hope that didn't confuse you. So we have to convert this UI file into a Python format. We have to convert it into Python format. So to do that, what you have to do is you have to open command prompt. So I'm going to be clicking on this address bar here and type in cmd. The reason I'm doing that is when you do this is a small trick that you guys might like. So when you are in a certain directory on the Windows Explorer and you type in cmd in the address bar, you open the command prompt in that certain directory. So usually if you open command prompt, it opens in the base directory, which is the users directory. But now it is opened in this directory, which makes it easier for me to access these two scripts. I hope that didn't confuse you. I'm not good at explaining stuff. Oh wait, did I just close the original one? Ah crap. Okay, let's do it again. CMD. Yeah, there you go. So for this, what you need is a tool called PyUIC5, which converts UI files to Python files. Now, to use that, you need to do pip install PyUIC5 tool. For me, it shows requirement already satisfied because I already installed it. So yes, now we have PyUIC tool. So we'll just clear this, and what you have to do is type in PyUIC5. Now, if you guys are facing any errors in this step, please do comment down below. I'll give you my Discord ID if you have Discord, and I'll help you sort it out. So let's go to PyUIC5 and hit -X. Now this means -x means input file. So the input file is zoom, oh, it's on, zoom bot UI. This one right here is the input file, because we need to input this file to get an output of a Python file. So for output, we type in -o, and then I'm going to type in main win UI dot py for the Python file for this converted UI file. This will be the name of the Python file. Why am I giving it this name? I will show you when we get to the programming section. Now if we hit enter, you guys can see we got another Python file called main.win.ui.py. So let's go to the programming part. Okay, so I opened the main.win.ui file in my editor so that you guys can see what is in it. So this whole script is the whole UI that we created in Qt Designer converted into Python. So for those who are new to PyQt5 and Python might not understand what this is. So you should not, whatever happens, do not edit this file unless you know what you're doing. Because one small mistake, the whole application crashes. So I wouldn't recommend editing this file. So now for showing you the UI, if we hit run, this is what we get for now. Now we need to remove this bar right here, this title bar, and this whole background to make it look more sharper and beautiful. So for that, well, yeah, and before that, let me just show you. This is the old automation script that we created in the first video. So it is right here. I renamed the file to automation script. If you guys want to do the same, you're most welcome to. Now let's create another file and clear this file and save this to the ZoomBot folder. So we have the Python file and both the Python files, the main.win.ui file and automation script file. So we are gonna name this ZoomBot UI.py. So let's start coding. Okay, so now to start programming, I will be writing some basic lines that is required to start a Python program in PyQt5, and in the end I will explain them all. So first things first, you have to import certain packages, and the first one will be import sys, and then we will do from pyqt5.qt widgets import q application and q main window. Then you have to import if you guys remember, I told you to keep all these three files, the automation script file, the main.win.ui file, and the ZoomBot UI file in one single folder. Now the reason why I told you to do that is that way we can interact between files. So now watch this. So I do from main.win.ui import UI underscore main window. So what I basically did is I imported a class from this Python file, just like you normally import functions or classes from other modules like this PyQt5 and Qt widgets. The same way you can import classes from other Python files if they are in one single directory. That is how modules work. So the same way we import this class which contains the whole UI. This is nothing but the whole UI converted into a Python file. That is one of the reasons why I told you not to edit it, and I named it main.win.ui and not ZoomBot UI, because this is just a converted Python file, while this file is gonna be the file which contains all the functions, all the controls, and everything that controls the actual UI, which is this file. So yes, that's all. And now next what we have to do is create a class. So class, we'll name it Zoom Bot UI since I don't know any other names to give this. And we put a parenthesis, open and close, and inside that we will type in Q main window, which we imported right here. Now after that we put a colon, and then we create a class which is underscore, so def underscore underscore init underscore underscore, and we open a bracket, we put self, we put a colon, just like any other functions, and then we write one line which is super bracket open bracket close, the name of the class which is Zoom Bot UI, comma self, and then outside this dot underscore underscore init underscore underscore bracket open bracket close. Okay, after this what we have to do is do if underscore underscore name underscore underscore equals in quotes underscore underscore main underscore underscore, and put the colon and then type in app is just a variable, equals q application q application bracket open sys dot argv, and then we have to create another variable like main win equals zoom bot ui bracket open bracket close, and here we type in sys dot exit bracket open bracket close, and inside this app dot execute, and this one exec underscore parenthesis open and close. Now inside this init function we have to write a few more lines, which is self dot ui equals this function right here, ui underscore main window open and open close. Then we do self dot setup self dot ui dot setup ui, and inside this brackets we give self, and after this we write self dot show bracket open bracket close. Okay, now to the explanation part. These three lines are just imports from modules. As you guys can see, we need Qt widgets, Q application, Q main window, but this is not it. We will be importing more modules soon, but for now this is enough. And this is where we create the class and we give the Q main window module to create the Q main window. And then here we create the class. Here we create the basic function of all PyQt programs, which is def underscore underscore init underscore underscore. And this line right here, I'm gonna be honest with you, I still don't understand completely what it does, but what I do know is that that line is very essential for writing a PyQt program, and if that is not there, the program is gonna crash. So if any of you guys watching this knows what that line does, please comment down below, it'd be really helpful. Or if I learn what that is, I will surely tell you in the next video. And if someone comments down below, I will make sure to pin it, and yeah, that's basically it. So in this line, we import the UI from the other file. So as I told, this class, this whole file consists of the UI that we converted into the Python file. And in this line, what we do is we set up the UI. That means we bring the UI to the screen. So that is this function right here in under this class, setup UI. That's what we're calling here. So yeah, that's basically it. And then there is self.show. So every time you set up a UI, the UI is not completely visible. It will be it is there, but it will be invisible. You can't see it. So if you put self.show, the UI is then visible. It will come to the front. And then you have if underscore underscore if underscore underscore name equals blah blah blah. This is also a basic line that you need. And after this comes these three lines. So what this line does is this line creates the application framework. So just like any other application, it creates a framework and interacts with the operating system. And this main win equals zoom bar UI starts this class. It is calling this class, so it starts the whole process. And sys.exit app.execute underscore this line, what basically does is when you close the application, there are certain protocols every application has to follow while exiting. So this makes sure that the application just doesn't crash, but executes and exits properly. I hope you understood that and I didn't overcomplicate it. So these are the basic lines. So now if we hit run, you can see the UI, but it's still not perfect because we have this title bar over here and the background over here. So we have to remove those both. So to do that, what we have to do is we have to do a self dot window set flag, set window flag. So about, you have to always write above the self dot show. So I'm gonna type in self dot set window flags. Yep, right here, this one, set window flags. And inside this we type in qt dot this q oh wait, we didn't import qt. Yeah, let's do that. So from pyqt5 dot qt core import qt. So now we have imported qt. Now what we do is we do a qt dot frameless window hint. Now what this should do is let's run this program. And if you guys can see, we don't have the title bar or the window borders anymore. Next, we have to remove the background. So to do that, we have to first close this program. And then we have to, yes, we have to do a self dot set attribute. Wait, set attribute. And the attribute, we should write qt.wa underscore translucent background. Hopefully I didn't make any spelling mistakes. I always confuse it when I reach translucent. Okay, now what should happen is, yes, I made some mistake in translucent. I don't see any mistakes. Oh wait, yeah, I put a C instead of an S here. And here an S instead of a C. Yep, now it works. I misplaced the S and C. So now, as you guys can see, you have a perfectly functional, well, not fully functional, we have to make it functional, UI. So this is the close button, minimize button, save, add meeting, everything. So this is the whole window. Now, as you guys can see, if you guys are trying this, you can understand that you can't move this anywhere, you can't drag it. So for that, we need to add two other functions to make this drag. It's a algorithm which makes the UI move. It's a bit complex to understand, so just type down as I am typing. So let's just restart this console and type the other two functions. So what we have to do is def mouse press event and then self comma event. You have to do a self dot drag pos equals event dot global pos, and then you have to create another function which is def mouse move event and again self comma event, and after that you have to put a colon, and then you do if if event dot buttons equals qt dot left, left button. What did I do? It accidentally started the console, I think. Anyways, moving on. Left button, then self dot move, bracket open, self dot pos, and here we have to do a plus, event dot global pos, and this you have to do a minus, self dot drag pos, so self dot drag pos. So that makes it move, and then you have to update the variable. So self dot drag pos equals event dot global pos, and then you have to do event dot accept to make it move. So I'll try my best to explain what's happening here. So here, when you press the mouse, when you press the left button, a variable called drag pos gets the position of the window. And these two functions will work when the mouse is moving. So it's like an inbuilt function in PyQt5. Mouse press event works when you press, and mouse move event works when you move the mouse. And in mouse move event, what happens is, if event buttons equals qt.left button, which means if you click with your left button and drag it, it will move. So if you do a right click and try to drag it, it won't move. Now self.move bracket self.position bracket open bracket close, plus this is a whole algorithm to find the location where the mouse is dragging it. So it calculates by adding and subtracting the current position and the dragging position. I hope that is not too complex. And then you are updating the variables, so it goes in a whole loop, and event.accept makes it happen. So if you run this program now, the UI spawns here, and now you can drag it and move it around. See? Now you can only drag it and move it around if you click on the frame. So this is a frame, and this is a frame, if you guys remember correctly. This is the frame which we use to create the title bar, and this whole background is also completely a frame. So now if I try to drag the whole window by clicking on the table, it won't work. I'm trying to drag it right now. If I tried using the buttons, it still won't work. What happened right now is I clicked the frame by accident. So if I try using this button, still doesn't work, it automatically goes to the frame. So I guess that's it for this video, and in the next video, which will be coming up soon, we will be giving functions for these close button and minimize button, and also for the add new meeting button and save button. So we will be using SQL, pandas, and all the data structure kind of stuff. So thank you for watching, and I am trying to reach a sub goal of 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys could do that, it would be really helpful. We are currently at 221 subscribers. So if you like and enjoy my content, please subscribe and keep watching. Thank you.